Have you ever wondered why, despite eating healthy, staying active, and doing your best, your legs still feel weaker? Why the stairs feel a little steeper? Why it takes just a bit longer to stand up from a chair? Why even short walks now leave a dull ache in your calves? You may think it's just age, but what if it's not? What if the very thing that's hurting your strength is something you believe is helping you? Something you've been eating all your life? Something sweet, natural, trusted? This is the part that shocks most people. You're not doing anything wrong. In fact, you're probably doing everything right. But there's one silent mistake nearly every senior makes. One that's hiding in plain sight, inside the fruit bowl. Fruits, nature's candy. A symbol of health, purity, and nourishment. But here's the truth no one talks about. Not all fruits are good for you after 60. In fact, some fruits, even the ones most commonly recommended, can slowly wear down your legs, inflame your joints, and drain your balance, step by step. Because the body you had at 30 is not the body you have at 60 or 70. Your metabolism slows. Your circulation weakens. Your sensitivity to sugar, acid, and inflammation increases. And these healthy fruits, they begin to hit differently. Not all at once, but gradually, until you feel a tightness in your knees, a burn in your calves, or stiffness after just sitting. We're going to uncover the truth. The 7 worst fruits for seniors' legs, especially if you want to keep walking strong, stable, and pain-free for years to come. These fruits might look innocent. They might taste refreshing. But some of them may be slowly weakening your legs every day. So stay with me. Because the first fruit, it's one you've probably been told reduces inflammation, but maybe doing the exact opposite to your aging joints. But before we begin, if you felt this too, not weakness, but that quiet heaviness, that question rising deep in your body, then stay with us. Subscribe to Senior Life. Where growing older doesn't mean growing smaller. It means growing smarter, stronger, and still moving forward. Now, let's talk about the first fruit on our list. It's tropical, it's juicy, it's famous for fighting inflammation. And yet for many seniors, it quietly fuels pain. Let's talk about pineapple. Pineapple, golden, juicy, tropical. A fruit that feels like sunshine, a symbol of refreshment, a natural anti-inflammatory, or so they say. For years, it's been praised for one powerful compound, bromelain, an enzyme said to reduce swelling and soothe pain. And yes, for some bodies, in some situations, it might help, but for seniors, that same fruit may quietly be doing the opposite. Because while pineapple wears the disguise of a healer, it hides 2 dangerous qualities for aging legs: acid and sugar. Let's start with the sugar. Pineapple is naturally sweet, incredibly so, but that sweetness is not innocent. As we age, our blood vessels, especially the tiny ones in our legs and feet, become more fragile. They don't bounce back the way they used to. And when you flood them with sugar, even natural sugar, the damage adds up. Pineapple spikes blood sugar fast. That sudden surge causes tiny tears, silent stress on your capillaries. What happens next? Oxygen doesn't flow as well. Muscles don't get what they need. Inflammation builds. Circulation slows in your legs. They start to protest. With swelling in the ankles, stiffness in the knees, and that deep, dragging fatigue after just a simple walk. Even if you've been sitting all day, you might feel it. The soreness when you stand. That burn in your thighs, or the tightness that wraps around your calves like a band. Now let's talk about the acid. Pineapple is rich in citric and ascorbic acid. These compounds, while natural, are harsh on aging joints, especially if you're already dealing with arthritis or mild inflammation. For some, it's like pouring lemon juice into a paper cut. The acid doesn't soothe, it stings. It irritates the already sensitive tissues around your knees, ankles, and hips. It fans the flames you've been trying to calm. Here's something most people don't know. If you're on medications like blood thinners or certain antibiotics, that bromelain can interact, either making your medicine too strong or not strong enough, all without any warning sign. But the most dangerous part? Pineapple doesn't hurt you immediately. There's no sharp pain, no obvious signal. It sneaks in, little by little. Till one day you realize your legs aren't carrying you like they used to, that walks feel heavier, that stairs take longer, your confidence in movement has shrunk, and you don't even know why. And sadly, most seniors will never suspect the fruit they thought was helping them was slowly pulling their strength away. Now listen closely. This doesn't mean pineapple is evil. You don't have to fear it or cut it from your life forever. But if you've been battling unexplained leg pain, swelling, or stiffness, it's time to take notice. Because the danger isn't in the fruit, it's in the repetition. The quiet, daily intake that adds up. Your body is not what it used to be. It's wiser, more sensitive. And it's asking you to notice what's no longer helping. So if the fruit known for fighting inflammation can cause this much harm, what about the next one? It's soft. It's sweet. It's famous for preventing cramps and boosting energy, but it may be deceiving you. Let's talk about bananas, the muscle imposter. Stay with us. Bananas. Soft, bright, easy to peel. The most trusted fruit in every home. Doctors recommend it. Athletes swear by it. And it's everywhere. In cereals, smoothies, snacks, even hospital trays. You've probably heard. Bananas prevent cramps. Bananas help your muscles recover. Bananas give you energy. But for seniors, especially those over 60, bananas may be writing a different story. Because behind that smooth yellow peel is a quiet sugar surge your aging body may no longer handle well. Yes, bananas are high in potassium, and that's good. But they're also rich in natural sugars and fast-digesting starches, which means your blood sugar rises sharply after eating one. In a young body, insulin kicks in. The sugar gets managed. But in an aging body, where insulin sensitivity has faded and circulation is already strained, this blood sugar spike leads to inflammation. And inflammation targets your legs, your joints, your mobility. You might not notice it at first, but the signs are there. That heaviness in your legs after breakfast. That stiffness in your calves when climbing stairs. Dull ache when walking, as if your legs are wearing weights. And here's what most seniors don't realize. Bananas also cause fluid retention, especially in those with heart conditions or weaker kidney function. What does that mean? Swollen ankles? Muffy feet? Tightness in the knees? And joints that don't quite bend the way they used to. It doesn't hurt right away. You feel fine. Until one morning, your shoes feel tighter, your walk feels shorter, and the climb up the stairs feels steeper. Because while bananas are often praised as muscle fuel, they may, over time, be quietly robbing you of strength, especially when eaten daily or as a go-to healthy snack. And it's not just about sugar, it's the repetition, the daily spike, the daily inflammation, the swelling that never quite leaves. You eat bananas believing they'll protect your muscles. But in aging bodies, they might do the opposite, might dull your strength, inflame your joints, and steal your steps, one smooth slice at a time. Now imagine this. If a fruit famous for muscle health can hurt you, what about something smaller? Something you can eat a dozen of without even noticing?
Oh.
Something that seems too small to matter? Let's talk about grapes. Tiny, juicy. But don't let the size fool you, because what they pack in sweetness, they also pack in danger. Especially for your legs. Stay with us. Grapes tiny, juicy, delightful. They feel harmless, almost innocent. You can eat a handful without thinking, then another and another. They're fun, convenient, sweet, and they come with a glowing reputation, full of antioxidants. Good for the heart, perfect snack. But here's the part nobody talks about, especially not to seniors. Grapes are sugar bombs. And not just any sugar. They contain fructose, a sugar your body processes in a very specific, dangerous way as you age. When you eat fructose, your liver goes to work. But if your liver's already overburdened, which it often is after 60, that fructose doesn't turn into energy. It turns into fat, and worse, into uric acid. And that's where the trouble begins, because uric acid is a silent attacker. And it loves to settle in your joints. Especially the small ones, your toes, your knees, your ankles. And what happens next? It's that nagging ache in your big toe. It's the burning in your ankles when you lie down. The unexplained stiffness when you wake up. That feeling in your legs, like you're walking through thick fog. It might all trace back to a handful of grapes. You see, grapes are far too easy to overeat. They're light, bite-sized, hydrating. But one cup leads to two, then three. And suddenly, you've consumed more sugar than you would in a candy bar. Even more troubling. Fructose doesn't spike your blood sugar like table sugar does, which means the damage happens quietly. You won't feel dizzy, you won't feel full, but the inflammation builds. The uric acid creeps in, and your legs begin to stiffen, swell, and ache. Yay. So, if you've been noticing night cramps, burning toes, tender joints that heavy, dragging fatigue in your legs after a light walk, it may not be just age. It may be grapes, and the quiet chemistry they trigger. Remember, it's not the size of the fruit. It's the reaction it causes in the body that's already working harder with age. And if this tiny fruit can cause this much trouble, what about the one that feels the safest? Light, watery, refreshing, a symbol of summer hydration. Let's talk about watermelon, the fruit that looks like water but may act like sugar. Stay with us. Watermelon, cool, crisp, light, the very image of hydration. On a hot day, it feels like a blessing, sweet without guilt. Mostly water, low in calories. How could it possibly be harmful? But here's the twist. Watermelon may feel like water, but your body doesn't treat it that way, because under that refreshing exterior is a fruit with one of the highest glycemic indexes of them all. Meaning, it acts like sugar in your bloodstream, quick, sharp, and intense. And when you're over 60, those blood sugar spikes don't just fade away, they linger, they inflame, they damage. Let's break it down. After 60, your body doesn't process sugar like it used to. Insulin response slows, circulation weakens, and the smallest changes in blood sugar can lead to the biggest consequences in your legs. What does that look like? Maybe you felt it, that strange swelling around your ankles after lunch. It's a dragging heaviness in your calves after a walk. It's a sense that climbing stairs feels more like hiking uphill. You might chalk it up to fatigue, but in reality, your body could be reacting to what seemed like an innocent slice of watermelon. Because here's what's really happening. That sugar spike from the watermelon triggers insulin, but your aging cells don't absorb the sugar as efficiently. So instead of energy, you get inflammation, especially in the weakest points, your joints. And where do most of us feel that inflammation? Behind the knees and the hips, around the ankles, deep in the calves, and the worst part, watermelon is so light, so easy to eat in excess. One slice turns into three. A big bowl after dinner, some cubes with lunch. You think you're hydrating, but you're really soaking your body in sugar. If you're already dealing with circulation issues, arthritis, or diabetes, that damage doesn't take long to show. Watermelon may be refreshing, but it can also be deceiving. Because hydration isn't just about water. It's about what that water brings with it. And in watermelon's case, it brings sugar, spikes, and strain. So ask yourself this. If you've been eating watermelon regularly and noticing stiffness in your knees, tired legs after walks, or swelling in the evening, could this summer fruit be silently sabotaging your strength? Now, if even watermelon can do this, what about the fruit that starts nearly every morning? Bright, juicy, packed with vitamin C, and yet for many seniors, it may be the start of their daily joint pain. Let's talk about oranges and the acid attack hiding behind the citrus. Stay with us. Oranges. They shine with color, burst with juice, and carry the promise of immunity, energy, and good health. For decades, we've been told, start your day with orange juice. Vitamin C keeps you strong. Citrus is your friend. But what if it's for seniors? It's not. What if the same fruit that's sitting on your breakfast table, in your juice glass, in your daily health routine, is quietly wearing down your joints? Here's what you need to know. Oranges are loaded with citric acid, a natural compound that gives citrus fruits their tangy, refreshing bite. But while this acid may be harmless in youth and aging bodies, it can become a silent enemy. As we age, the tissues around our joints become more delicate, circulation slows, and inflammation becomes more common and more intense. Now imagine this. Each sip of orange juice, each slice of fresh orange, sends citric acid into your bloodstream. Once it's there, it doesn't just pass through. It finds the soft tissues, the already tender, inflamed parts of your knees, hips, and ankles, and it aggravates them. That subtle morning ache in your legs, That strange tension behind your knees after sitting? That slow-burning discomfort that spreads through your calves? It may be more than just wear and tear. It may be acid, fueling the fire already smoldering inside your joints. But that's not the only concern. Oranges also contain natural sugars, and when paired with acid, they create a double strike. First, the sugar causes a blood sugar spike, which leads to inflammation. Then the acid worsens the swelling by irritating the joint lining. It's a quiet, daily attack. No sharp pain, no warning signs, just a growing stiffness, a little more soreness, a few more steps that feel heavier than they should. And the saddest part, you think you're doing something good? You drink orange juice because you want to stay healthy? You eat oranges to support your immune system. You follow the advice you've trusted for years. But your legs, they feel worse. You're not imagining it. And you're not alone. For many seniors, oranges are no longer the safe, healing fruit they once were. They've become acidic triggers, pushing your joints further into pain. And yet there's another fruit many turn to for relief. A fruit that looks clean, crisp, even safer than oranges. It's low in sugar, green, firm, and feels like the smarter choice. But deep inside, it holds another hidden trigger. Let's talk about green apples and how something so crisp and innocent can cause nighttime cramps and aching joints. Green apples. Crisp, tart, refreshing. They feel clean, almost medicinal. Less sweet than red apples. Less sugary than most fruits. For many seniors, green apples feel like the safe choice, and on the surface, they are. Low in sugar, high in fiber, easy to snack on. But if you've ever had cramps at night, strange tightness in your knees after a snack, or sore hips in the morning after what seemed like a healthy evening bite, you might want to take a closer look at what green apples are doing inside your body, because behind their clean crunch is a hidden chemical, malic acid. It's what gives green apples their sharp, sour taste. It's also what makes them difficult for aging bodies to digest. You see, as we grow older, our gut lining becomes more sensitive. The acids that once helped break down food easily can now irritate the system, and worse, aggravate inflammation. Malic acid, when absorbed into the bloodstream, can trigger a chain reaction, stiffness in the knees, tightness in the hips, cramps in the thighs or calves, a burning sensation in the feet, that odd, restless tension that makes falling asleep harder. You might not connect the dots at first, it's just fruit. But the reaction is real, and for many seniors, it's routine, especially if green apples are eaten raw, on an empty stomach, or late at night as a light snack. And that's not all. Even though green apples taste less sweet, they still contain natural sugars. For seniors with slower metabolisms, those sugars can cause unstable blood sugar, leading to leg fatigue, morning stiffness, and even night cramps. It's subtle. So subtle that most people never suspect it. They just wake up feeling off a little weaker, a little more sore. But day after day it adds up, and the fruit you thought was keeping you healthy may be quietly stealing your comfort. So if you've ever eaten a green apple and noticed thigh pain at night, hip tightness in the morning, cramping calves after sitting for a while, it might not be just age. It might be malic acid working against your joints. Now, if even something as safe as a green apple can cause this, what about the sweetest fruit of them all? The one that feels like a dessert, that people adore, tastes like joy in the summertime. But for seniors, it might be the worst one yet. Because it's not just sweet, it's a sugar explosion. With a lasting impact on your joints and circulation, let's talk about mangoes and the hidden pain they can bring. Stay with us. Mango, soft, juicy, luscious, a fruit that feels like a treat, like nature's candy wrapped in golden sunshine. For many, mangoes are a favorite, especially in summer. A sweet escape, a refreshing bite, a symbol of health and happiness. But for seniors, that joy may come at a hidden cost. Because mango is more than just sweet. It's a sugar bomb. And for aging joints, that sugar is like gasoline on a slow-burning fire. Let's break it down. Mangoes are packed with fructose, a form of sugar that goes straight to your liver. If your liver can't process it all, which becomes more common with age, it gets stored as fat or turns into uric acid. That's right. Just like grapes, mangoes can elevate uric acid levels, and that acid settles in your joints. In your knees, your ankles, even your toes. You may start to notice a burning sensation in your feet at night, a tingling in your toes that won't go away, swelling around your ankles, that strange heaviness in your legs after meals, and that's not all. The high sugar content causes your blood sugar to spike, which triggers inflammation, especially in the soft tissues around your joints. If you already deal with joint pain or slow circulation, those spikes can make things worse. Not right away, but gradually, quietly, until one day you realize walking feels harder, standing feels heavier, and you're not sure why. And mango doesn't feel like a danger. It feels light, refreshing, natural. But remember, your body doesn't respond to food based on how it tastes. It responds to what it contains. And mango contains a dense dose of sugar that can weaken legs, inflame joints, and drain energy from older bodies, especially when eaten regularly, especially if you already have blood sugar issues or inflammation. So if you've been enjoying mangoes, thinking they're a sweet, healthy choice, but noticing joint pain, swelling, or sluggish legs, it might be time to pause. Because while mango is delicious, it's not always kind to aging bodies. Now, let's step back for a moment. We've talked about 7 fruits, each with their own dangers for older adults. Pineapple, acid and sugar, causing swelling. Bananas, insulin spikes and fluid retention grapes, fructose fueling joint inflammation. Watermelon, rapid sugar spikes, disguised as hydration. Oranges, citrus acid worsening joint pain. Green apples, malic acid and sugar triggering cramps. Mangoes, the sugar bomb that fuels stiffness and swelling. Each of these may be healthy in one season of life, but harmful in another, especially now, when your body needs protection, not pressure. But here's the good news. There are fruits that do the opposite, that heal, not harm. That support circulation, reduce inflammation, and keep your legs strong. And next, we'll show you those fruits. It's the ones that rebuild, not weaken. Because knowledge alone isn't power. Action is. So if you've recognized yourself in any part of this video, don't worry. You don't need to cut everything out. You just need to know what to choose. Stay with us in the next chapter. We'll reveal the best fruits for seniors over 60 and how just a few simple swaps can change the way you walk, rise, and move through life. But first, if this video has opened your eyes even a little, hit the like button, click subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Because growing older doesn't mean growing weaker, it means growing wiser. And with every fruit you choose, you're choosing your future. So now you know. Not all fruits are your friend after 60, but that doesn't mean you need to give up fruit. Far from it, because nature didn't just give us sugar bombs, it also gave us medicine, wrapped in color, sweetness, and healing. There are fruits that do more than satisfy your hunger. They restore. They protect. They help your legs carry you, not collapse beneath you. Let's begin with the smallest warriors. 1. Berries. The circulation boosters: blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, strawberries. These tiny fruits pack massive power. They're low in sugar, high in antioxidants, and contain compounds that directly reduce inflammation and improve blood flow. They protect the walls of your blood vessels. They support the tiny capillaries in your legs. And they help prevent stiffness after sitting or swelling after a walk. If you want to move easier, feel lighter, reduce that dull, dragging ache in your calves. Make berries a daily guest in your bowl, fresh or frozen. Morning or afternoon, they work quietly but powerfully. 2. Cherries. The joint relievers: yes, cherries are sweet. But they also contain compounds that lower uric acid levels. When uric acid drops, joint pain follows. If you've suffered from gout or that sharp pain in your toe at night, a small handful of cherries, just a few, not a pile, can make a noticeable difference. They don't just reduce inflammation, they target the cause. Think of cherries as joint medicine, natural, effective, and beautiful. 3. Avocado. The anti-inflammatory superfruit. Yes, it's a fruit, and it might just be the best one for your legs. Avocados are rich in healthy fats, the kind your body needs to reduce joint inflammation, protect cartilage, and support smooth, steady movement. They also help stabilize blood sugar, which means less insulin resistance, less swelling, less fatigue in your legs after meals. And because they're creamy and satisfying, they keep you full, without flooding your system with sugar. Add a few slices to your toast. Blend it into smoothies, or eat it plain with a sprinkle of salt and lemon. Your knees will thank you. For papaya. The gentle healer papaya is soft, easy on digestion, and loaded with enzymes that help calm inflammation. It's especially helpful for seniors with digestive sensitivity, when other fruits feel too acidic or too heavy. Papaya helps your body absorb nutrients more efficiently, which in turn nourishes your muscles and helps your legs recover from strain. And unlike acidic fruits, it won't spark joint irritation. 5. Pears. The sweet balanced pears offer gentle sweetness. Without the sugar overload, they contain natural fiber, which slows digestion, keeps your blood sugar steady, and supports smoother energy. Without the crash, pair a pear with a few walnuts, a slice of cheese, or even a dollop of yogurt. You'll stay full, you'll stay stable, and your legs will feel lighter, not heavier. These fruits don't inflame, they don't spike. They support. They work with your aging body, not against it. They help you move better, wake up stronger, and go through your day with less stiffness, less swelling, and more grace. So the choice is not about giving up fruit. It's about giving up the ones that no longer serve you, and choosing the ones that lift you up. In the final part of this video, we'll share a few closing thoughts. Words of encouragement. A reminder of what really matters, and the simple truth that it's never too late to reclaim your strength. Stay with us because the best part is just ahead. If you've stayed with us this far, then I know something about you. You care. You're not ignoring the signs. You're not pretending that pain, stiffness, or swelling are just part of getting old. You're here because deep down you believe your body still has more to give, and you're right. Because here's the truth. It's not too late. Not too late to feel stronger. Not too late to walk without pain. Not too late to reclaim your mornings, your energy, your joy. You don't need a miracle. You don't need to give up all the things you love. All you need is to start noticing. Start listening and start choosing what serves you now, not what used to, because your body has changed, but it hasn't failed you. Simply asking for something different, something wiser, gentler, something that loves you back. Maybe that means trading mangoes for berries, bananas for papaya, or that morning glass of orange juice for a slice of avocado toast. Small changes, simple swaps, but powerful over time. And that's what healing really is. It's not dramatic. It's not perfect. It's consistent kindness. One choice at a time. So today, if your legs feel a little sore, if your knees feel tight, if you've been feeling like your body's getting heavier, know this. You are not weak. You are not behind. You are simply ready to move differently, to eat differently, to feel differently. And that journey begins not with guilt, but with curiosity, not with restriction, but with respect, because your legs have carried your life. Every step, every dance, every fall, every rise. And they deserve to feel strong again. So tell us in the comments, what change are you ready to make? What fruit will you try? What will you swap out first? Share, because when we do, we grow stronger together. And if this message spoke to you even a little, click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss a truth that could change your life. You've got more strength in you than you know. It's not just in your muscles, it's in your mind, your choices, and your heart. Protect your steps. Feed your body wisely. Walk into the next chapter of life with power. Because you don't need to feel old. You just need to feel supported. And that starts right now.